Did you start your wrestling career wearing a mask, or how did you come about wearing the famous mask that you're known for?
No, I started wrestling as an amateur at Syracuse University, and Ed Don George was the promoter in Buffalo. He sent me down to Columbus, Ohio, where Al Haft trained me as Dick Beyer, and I came back to Buffalo. Ed Don George sold the territory, and then I talked to the promoter that was in Buffalo at the time, Pedro Martinez, and Pedro Martinez said I was too small to make money for him or for myself. So I left and went to California, and then I went to Hawaii, and the promoter over there said, why don't you put a mask on? I put a mask on, beat Blassie for the WWA wrestling title, and the rest is history.
Do you have any memories of Freddie Blassie?
Pardon?
What are your memories of Fred Blassie?
Freddie Blassie, I got a lot of great memories. I wrestled him as Dick Beyer in Birmingham, Alabama. And then I wrestled him in Hawaii. And Fred went back to LA and said, you better bring that Dick Beyer in here. He's the best babyface in the country. And then I said to Fred, I said, thank you very much, but I think they're going to use me as a heel here in LA. So, but I have fond memories of Freddie Blassie.
Now what about Giant Babba? You worked a lot with him over the years.
Yes. Giant Babba actually made me in Japan, but he didn't make me in Japan. He made me in Japan in LA. I wrestled Babba 3 times in LA, and there was many Japanese reporters at ringside videotaping the matches, and then I went to Japan. Matches I had with Babba, we had a 60-minute match, then I won one and he won one. And that matches, when I went to Japan, made me, because they were great matches, and we didn't hurt either one of us by winning and losing.
I understand you were almost considered godlike in Japan at one point. You were so popular there. Is that true?
Pardon?
How popular were you in Japan at your peak?
When I first went there, when I wrestled Ricky Dozan, 70 million people watched the TV. That's bigger than the Super Bowl.
And I understand you lived there for 6 years.
Yes. This was after I worked with the All Japan Pro Wrestling, was Babba's company. I went to Babba and I said, Babba, you need me to come and work for you so that I can come over here with my wife and 3 kids, and we'll work on out from there as far as money and transportation.
And I retired.
And did you ever wrestle Andrea the Giant while you were over there? I know he was quite popular in Japan.
I wrestled Andrea the Giant not too far from where we are right now. I wrestled him
yeah, he was actually a little before me and never worked in the same area while I was there.
St. Catharines.
Okay.
I wrestled him in St. Catharines, and I also was my tag team partner in Chicago against Bockwinkel and Stevens.
Now, someone told me you had a good Andre the Giant story that I should ask you about.
I went around the world, and when I was in Paris, Frank Valois was the manager of the Giant. And he told me the Giant's going to come to Montreal. And I says, well, right now, Minneapolis is working with Montreal. So I'm able to be his partner. And that's what happened. I was his partner. And then, funny thing, I'm going to wrestle him in Chicago. Then I'm going to be his tag team partner in Chicago. And anyway, I had to take him in my car from Minneapolis to Springfield, Illinois, where I was wrestling on a Friday night. And he said to me, the promoter said, you ride him down to Springfield, Illinois, he's not wrestling, you are. And then take him to Chicago. So he doesn't speak any English. So I get ready to drive him, and then we go to Springfield, and he says, Destroyer, we need beer. That's the first he spoke English. I'm 300 miles. So anyway, I stopped and got a case of beer. We drive to Chicago, we get halfway. He said, Destroyer, we need more beer. I drank 6, he drank 18. We got another case. I drank 6. When we pulled into Chicago, he had finished off the rest of the case. So now he's had 36 beers. And he didn't have to pee. I wrestled Neil Mascaras many times. We had some
best of 7 series, right?
yes. We had some great matches, and to this day, I can watch them and get goose pimples watching them because he was that good. Our matches were very strong. He didn't give me anything, and I didn't ask for anything. So we had some good matches.
There's a lot of rumors that go around that Mil Mascaras had a bad attitude and a lot of wrestlers didn't like him backstage. I guess, did you experience any of that?
Early in my career with him, I had to fight to get anything. Then after we started to get he never liked to lose, and I got him to lose. it was a half shoot and a half work. But then, after that, we were very, very friendly.
And do you ever go back to Japan? You were so big over there. Do you ever visit there still?
Oh, I go back a couple times a year.
Are you still on good terms with All Japan Pro Wrestling?
All Japan Pro Wrestling
Please find your seats.
is not,
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we kindly ask you to please find your seats. Thank
they're
you
not
so
in
much.
business anymore, so to speak. They don't have any talent. When Matoko Babba, and Babba died, and she was going to take over, she asked me to stay in Japan and run the office. I asked my wife, "Do I go to Japan?" She said, "No." She wasn't familiar with it. Satisfied me.